Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to a brand new Roblox Studio video. My name is Floppy, and in today's tutorial we're going to be going over how to make a coin system in Roblox Studio. So coins are used in a variety of different games, but also keep in mind coins, or this coin tutorial, can also be used for anything else. So for example, let's say you wanted to have a win thing, or a part that gives a win leader stat when they reach maybe a top of somewhere. You could also use the system, but obviously you just go and change it to your preference and you change the name of the currency. Because what we're basically doing here is we're making it so when a player touches a part, they're given a value of a currency. So it can either be 5 coins, 5 wins, 1 win. Really, it is up to you. So you can customize this as much as you want. So please do keep in mind that this is not specifically based around a coin system. In this tutorial, I'm going to be doing a demonstration as we're making this as a coin system, but this coin system can be used in any way on how you actually want to give a player a leader stat. So please do keep that in mind when watching today's tutorial. So these sort of systems are put into games simply so there is actually something else that the player can go do. For example, let's say you have an obby game. They complete a stage, they get these coins. They're then able to go spend those coins to get upgrades, to maybe purchase something new, or maybe purchase some more speed, for example. So that is what really coins are used for. Another example is in a simulator. You can go maybe collect things, or maybe go break a chest. You get coins to go and then upgrade something, go and purchase something. That is what the whole coin system is actually used for in the majority of Roblox games. So in today's video, there's going to be two ways on how we're going to do it. We're going to do one way of just a part, or for example our coin, just standing there on the base plate, and then when a player touches it, they're given that leader stat, and then after 5 seconds that part then respawns, but it is respawning in the same area or in the exact same location as it previously did, basically meaning it is not moving around, it is not regenerating elsewhere. The difference between System 1 and System 2 is that System 2 is going to have a regeneration system, basically meaning that once a part is then removed, another part is then going to spawn. Or what you could actually even say is when that part is then collected after, let's say, 5 seconds, it's going to spawn somewhere else in the specific area that we allocate it. So for example, let's say here on the base plate, let's say we'll use this little box for example. Let's say this is our little box. We have our main part here when we first join in. Great. We go and collect it. Then, after 5 seconds, it'll kind of disappear, and then a new one will regenerate. But now, it won't normally spawn here like it would in System 1. It's going to be spawning over here. So it's always going to be changing no matter what. So obviously, then you go and apply whichever system works best for your game. If you're just wanting a standard, blank currency there that you could maybe use in your I don't know, +1 jump game for example, and you can get a win each time you touch that part, then you would most likely stick around with the standard System 1, where the part or the currency block is just sitting right there and it's not moving around all over the place, where System 2, it's moving throughout a specific area that you allocate it to. So the first thing that we're going to be doing here is making sure our Explorer and properties are enabled. If our Explorer and properties are not enabled, head up to the top bar here, click on View, and enable Explorer and properties, and they should show up somewhere over your screen. You then now want to go and insert your part which you're going to be using to actually gain the currency. For example, we're going to be using a coin, so we're going to go and insert a cylinder here. And now I'm just going to size this down so it looks almost like a little bit of a coin. I guess you could say this is a bit of a gold coin here. So that is going to be our main coin for this tutorial. Obviously, you go and create it however you would like it, but this will do the job here for now. So there we go. There's our coin. Done. So now the next thing we want to do here that is needed is we want to make sure Can Collide is disabled. Basically what this means is that the player can walk through the part. But you see, it's not going to really matter too much because when we go and touch it, it's going to then be removed. No matter what. The only thing that we're doing here and we're preventing is when the player touches this, that they're blocked by it, almost like they're blocked like a wall. It's going to be blocking the player like a wall, where now if we have it off, we walk through it, it's going to, no matter what, disappear, even though we have Can Collide off. But now it will just be like a nice smooth walkthrough. It's not going to be like a oh dear, you stopped here, now that you can only go once the part has been removed. So you want to go and disable Can Collide there in the properties. So now we want to head over to our ServiceScript service, and now we're going to be inserting the main first part of the system, which is actually the data saving and the leader stats. Now, if you already have a leader stats and a data saving script, maybe from a previous tutorial of me making a developer product to get to get currency, for example, you want to use that exact same data script. It doesn't really matter on what data script you have, as long as it's in the folder of leaderstats and you've got the correct value name or the correct name of your value. Then you won't have any problems. But in every single tutorial, I use the exact same data script. So if you're using one from the previous video of a developer to get currency, use that one. But if you do not already have a data saving script, you want to go over to the script service plus button and then select the script and then open up the script here. So now that we've gone and inserted the script inside of our script service, you want to head down to the description of this video, copy and paste script 1. It is going to be named script 1 data saving script. You want to go and copy that, all of that, and then bring that back to Roblox Studio, remove all the previous code, and then paste in the new code. Now there are basically 80 lines of code here. It is quite a long script, but this is necessary. So if you're wanting the player's stats to save when they go and leave the game, then they can, because realistically that is what is in most games. Again, if you do not want the player's data to save and all their coins to save, so when they join back it's there again, then obviously don't add the script service and the data script that we've inserted just now. Don't add that, but this is pretty, normal to have in any sort of game that you're using currency, because it can be very, very irritating if you're playing a game for so long. Let's say you're playing a game for 2 hours, you got 1 million currency, you leave, and then you join back, and now you've got to restart all from the beginning, So this is our main data script here. Now there are a couple of things we can change. It really depends on what your currency is going to be. So here on line 7, I'll quickly zoom in here for you folks. Here on line 7, we're basically doing a player added. So what we're identifying here is our local coins, which is our coins here. So what we basically are doing here, this all, by the way, identifies everything with data. We identify the players there, RunService, DataStoreService, data, and session data. That's all got to do with the data. The whole script has got to do with the data. This main part here is really just regarding the leader stats. So we basically identify our local coins. You can have this either way around. If you identify the leader stats first or the coins first, it doesn't matter. You'll eventually get around to it. So local coins equals instance.new, which is basically creating a new number value there. It then goes and changes the coins. So the coins, remember our coins is instance.new number value. So the number value is now named coins. Now, depending on whatever you want your currency to be called, you'd go and change that right there. Whatever text that is called coins and is green and blue, you go and change it. The gray one is not necessary, simply because, it doesn't affect it in any way. The only thing that's going to affect your gameplay is the green coins and also the blue coins. So I've gone and left a note everywhere where you actually need to go and change the coins. So you can see here, change coins to whatever your currency is called, coins there, coins there, where else? I'm pretty sure that's about it. But anywhere that's got coins, you go and change it, and then you'll have no problem. So if you want to change this to cash, you change it to cash, and then you just change it wherever else I've gone and noted that you need to go and change it. So once you've finished adjusting your data script here, you want to head over here, click on the X button next to your script. So now that you've finished adjusting your data script, we now actually want to go and continue making it so when the player goes and touches this part, then we are given a leader stat. We're going to be starting off with system 1, where the part does not move, it stays right here. When the player touches it, it goes invisible. Then after 5 seconds, it then, becomes visible again in the exact right location, and it doesn't move. Now, keep in mind, obviously, when we go and add the stat, that data saving script is now going to save that so that we will never ever actually have any data loss. So now that you've gone and got your coin, you've got your data script, and that you kind of understand what's going on here, you will now want to click on the plus button next to your part and insert a script. You then want to go down to the description of this video, copy and paste the code that's in the description, bring it back to Roblox Studio. This is going to be called script 2. This is going to be called one without randomation, something similar to around there. So script 2, go and remove all the previous code and then paste in the new code. So now there's a couple things that we do actually need to change in here, and which is actually quite important to make sure that it does work correctly. So first of all, here on line 1, it goes local coins added. Now this is what we can change. This is the amount of coins that is going to be added to the player's leader stat value each time they go and touch that coin. So let's say you wanted to give the player 10 coins each time they go and touch a coin, then you'd put it at 10 coins. But we're just going to be keeping it at 1 so we can easily keep track. Here on line 2, it goes local respawn time. Respawn time is basically the time between when and how often the coin, becomes visible again and the player is able to collect it. So we've got it set to 5. We can actually go and change this to 2.5 just so we can kind of get a bit of a better demonstration here for you all, and you're not waiting around too long. So that is our respawn time. We can leave local debounce here. We're identifying that our debounce equals false. We'll get round to that here shortly. I'm just going to quickly go over the main things that we need to change here depending on what you are. So if you kind of want to get through the tutorial quickly, you can. So here on line 13 it goes local coins equals leaderstats and leaderstats find first child coins. Now remember the one that we changed, the green coins inside of our data saving script. We now want to go and change this coins right here to whatever your currency which you changed in the data saving script is. Let's say you changed it to cash, then you'd put this to cash. But because we didn't change ours, we're going to keep this as coins. Now also here, this is not relevant. If you do not have, you do not need to change the gray one, simply because our local coins will be whatever this is. So even if this is cash, this will all still work. It doesn't actually really matter what this one is here. The gray coins are called. This is not relevant. This is just here because it's here. Anyway, so I'm going to quickly go through the script here. On line 5, we go script.parent.touched, it creates a function. So we go to the script.theparent, and if it is touched, it then creates a function called touch. Then if debounce then, so if there is a debounce, meaning if the debounce is true, a debounce is basically like a limiter, so that we can only get one, because what can tend to happen is the touched event can occur quite quickly and quite often whenever a player touches the actual part. So instead of us actually receiving only 1 coin, what can happen if we don't have the debounce is we are maybe given 4, 5 coins, because the touched event can occur quite quickly in a short amount of time before any of this can even happen. So we've gone and implemented a debounce here just to prevent that, so that we are limited to this 1 single coin every 2.5 seconds. Basically, so if there is a debounce, if the debounce is true, then it's going to return, basically meaning it's going to be returning to the line 5 at the start of the script, which is going to continuously run until there is no debounce. Because if there is a debounce, then it goes through this. Then local player, then it identifies the local player. So then it goes local player equals game.players get player from character touch.parent. So local player game.players get player from character from the touched event dot parent. So the touched, so the part and the parent of what was touched. So the player is the parent of what touched the part there. So if player, then so if there is a player there, then it will go local leader stats, and it identifies a couple more things here before we actually get to the main system on what all happens. It then goes local leader stats equals player find first child leader stats, and this basically finds our leader stats that we created in our data saving script. Remember, our one was called leader stats, and that was created in the data saving script. So find first child leader stats, that's the main folder. So then once it's found the leader stats, it then goes and finds the coins. So it goes local coins equals leader stats and leader stats find first child coins. If coins, then debounce equals true. Then it goes coins.value equals coins.value plus coins added. Then it goes script.parent.transparency. It sets the script.parent, the part to transparent. It then waits our respawn time, so it waits 2.5 seconds, and then it sets the transparency back to 0, basically meaning then we are able to see the part again. Transparent is 1, non-transparent is 0. Then it sets the debounce to false, basically meaning that this is able to loop again, and we're able to then go and collect the part, or go and collect the currency. So once we've finished adjusting everything here, click on the X button next to your script, and now we can go test it out. So you want to head over here to team test, because team test is usually what many people use when they're kind of testing data. So click on team test there. You need to make sure that your game is published to Roblox to be able to access team test. So join into team test there, and now when we go and touch into this part here and we go and walk into the part, we will be given 1 leader stats. Now keep in mind, this is system 1. We're going to be going over system 2 here very shortly. As you guys can see, we are now in the base plate, and when we join in, we've got 0 coins, and there's our coins leader stats. Depending on what you change your leader stats to will depend on what it says up there. We've got 0 stats right now, so when we go and walk into this part, we will be given 1 singular stat. So if we go walk into the part now, you're able to see that there was no limitation simply because we had can collide disabled, and after 2.5 seconds, the part has respawned, and we have been given 1 single currency. We walk through it again, you're able to see part disappears, currency is up there, and as you guys can see, it just continues to work like that. Now if we had to go and leave and then rejoin into the game here, you'll be able to see that we still have the currency that we have collected from the system. So let's go join in back into team test, and you're going to be able to see that thanks to our data saving script, we have been able to save the currency, which is going to be saved inside of the game. And as you guys can see, we are now in the back end of the base plate, and there we have it. We have got 3 coins inside of our leader stats. Alrighty, so now let's move on to System 2. So now remember what we mentioned before, System 2 is where the part respawns, but in a different location every single time, in a specific area that we allocate it to. So, for starters now for our System 2 is now we will actually want to go and create our little separate area that the part or the coin is actually going to be spawning into. So this is going to be our allocated area. Now let's say you have a little bit of a specific area inside of your games, for example. You'd be able to go and put this there. Or let's say you had a little bit of an area in your world on where you want coins to spawn, you can go and put that there as well. So this is going to be our allocated area. I feel this is big enough for now for demonstration. And now we can kind of just go put the coin wherever we want, and if you want to add more, you can go add more just like that. But anyway, so now before we actually go and, realistically, before you go and spread out the coins, you now actually want to go and adjust something inside of this code, because we need to now go adjust this code to make it work so that it automatically moves around this area to make sure that it is fully, randomized and fully moving around and is not staying in the same position each time. So what you want to go do is you want to go down, click on your part, go to the script of the part. So now here for System 2, we want to go and remove all the previous code here in our coin script or our part script, and we will now want to go down to the description of this video, copy and paste the code that is in the description, bring it back to Roblox Studio, remove all the previous code. It's going to be classed as script 3, probably something randomizer, respawning coin, something like that. So you want to go and paste that right in here. And then the script is pretty much similar to our original script on what we just had, which just added the leader stats. All we're really adding is a local function which is controlling where the part is going to be positioned and really controlling the whole aspect of respawning the coin. So now that you've gone and created your area where the parts are going to be respawning and where they've been allocated to, you now want to go and rename this. So I'm going to be calling this coin area, just like that. Now this is going to be the area where our coins are going to be spawning. Now, depending, you can go and change that to whatever you want, but this will matter what you go and insert into the script here. So where it goes, local respawn part, we want to go and change game.workspace.respawn part to whatever our respawn part is going to be called. So remember, our respawn part was called coin area. So I'll go and type in coin area where it said respawn part. Now, depending if you change it to anything else, you'd go and change that also right there. Then here on line 4, it goes local debounce equals false. Then it creates the function, a local function, which is called our respawn coin. And this is basically where this controls everything. It adjusts the x-axis and also the z-axis as well as the y-axis to make sure that it is on the top of the part. And this is basically what is controlling our respawn coin. And this right here is what is controlling our randomizer and the position of where the part is going. So here then it goes script.parent.position. This adjusts the position on where the part is also going. So this is really more actually like really where the position of the part is going to go. Then here on line 15 it goes script.parent.canTouch equals true. Then it goes to script.parent.transparency, which basically makes the part, not transparent. And here on line 15, when it goes and makes it true, it basically says, yes, you can now come and touch the part, or you can now come and collect more currency. And then it sets the debounce to false, because keep in mind, we're creating a local function here called respawn coins. This is respawning our coin. So that is how it works there. It makes us allowed to touch the part again. Transparency is set back to 0, basically making it visible, and then it disables the debounce. So here on line 20, then it goes and actually plays that function. So it goes and does respawn coin. So this does the local function. So that right there plays right here. Then it goes to the script.theparent.touch, exactly how it was there before. Then it creates a function. Then we identify our humanoid, local humanoid equals hit.parent. So the parent of the thing that we just hit is the actual humanoid. So then here on line 23, it goes if debounce, then it's going to return it. So basically meaning it's going to continue playing until there is no debounce, because if there is a debounce, that basically means, okay, no, we cannot yet collect another coin, and we cannot yet let that coin become visible.
So then it goes, if debounce then return, it's going to return it back. Then if there is not a debounce and the debounce is false, then it's just going to continue running, where it will then go and identify our player. Local player equals game.players, get player from character, which is our humanoid. Then if player, then local leader stats equals player find first child leader stats, that basically is our leader stats folder. Local coins equals leader stats and leader stats find first child coins, so that is our currency. Depending on what you went and changed your currency to, you'd go and change that right here. If coins, so if there is coins, that coin's right there, then debounce equals true, and then coins.value equals coins.value plus the coins added, so it will plus our one that is already to our value, or it will plus add one to our current value. Then it goes to the script.parent and then to the can touch, and that will set that to false, basically being like, no, you cannot touch that part anymore. Then it goes to the script.theparent, so remember our script to the parent, so that there's our part, script parent to the transparency, and sets that to invisible, sets it to 1, and then it waits our respawn time, which is 2.5 seconds, and then it will go and do the respawn coin after the wait time. So it goes, waits 2.5 seconds, then the coin will respawn, and then all of this will run through again, and then it will be allocated to a new position. Just before we begin the game, there was a slight issue that I came across here on line 11. I've gone and changed it now, but for anyone who is writing down the code, you just want to make sure that you've got, this is the correct version now. This all works correctly, because what the problem was is when it was respawning, the coins were respawning down like halfway through the ground, but now I've gone and added fixed the script so that the coins spawn slightly just above the actual our main coin area just here. Just to inform everyone, all the code that is going to be in the description is going to be all correct, and it is always going to be correct. So make sure that you've got all your coins here, you've got your coin area, but let's go test out here in the team test to go make sure that it works. As you guys can see, we're in the base plate. Here's our coin area. You can see that coin's like just making it on the edge there. He's just making it. But anyway, as you guys can see, when I go and walk on here now, the coin will disappear. I'll go there and you'll be able to see that none of them actually respawn in the exact same location. But as you guys can see, the more we move around and the more we collect the parts, the more they are moving around the selected area. See, we can go collect there, and now no other part is going to respawn right here. They're all going to be respawning in a different location every single time. If you guys are a little bit lost, or you're having a little bit of a trouble with your coin placement, or maybe your coins are halfway through the ground, or there's a little bit of an issue there, please feel free to contact us on Discord and we can happily help you out. But anyway guys, I'm going to wrap up the video here. If you did enjoy, I'd appreciate it if you do consider subscribing to the channel, turning on the notification bell so you never miss another upload, and if you really did enjoy, I'd appreciate it if you do consider liking the video. I'd really appreciate it. But anyway, have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see everyone in the next Roblox Studio video.